you how a 78-year-old man with diabetes and stage 3 kidney disease managed to constantly improve his kidney function over 7 straight years. Yes, 7 years of steady improvements by doing something almost unheard of. Ready for it? Actually, receiving a personalized treatment for his kidney disease. Yeah, I know, it sounds unbelievable in today's medical system. And there is more. His treatment also included a powerful vitamin that your doctor probably forgot to even mention, let alone prescribe. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and we live in a society in which celebrities can decide to become astronauts in a whim. And in which we have machines that can tell us what to do.
You're almost out of ultra-strength deodorant. Say yes to reorder now.
Thank you, ChatGPT. Anyway, despite these huge, incredible breakthroughs, we still act like CKD, a disease that's draining the life out of 1 in 7 US adults, is some kind of unsolvable riddle. Newly diagnosed CKD patients today are still being told there is nothing we can do. Things are just going to get worse. And shockingly, when you do nothing, things do get worse. Who would have thought? But the real question is CKD really impossible to beat, or are we just not trying hard enough? To answer this question, I want to present you a case report published in a prestigious medical journal. Let's talk about a 78-year-old man who is suffering from CKD and from some of its most common complications. Yes, this man wasn't just fighting CKD. He was also juggling hypertension, diabetes, atrial fibrillation, high uric acid, anemia, high cholesterol, thyroid problems, metabolic acidosis, mineral bone disorder. I mean, honestly, the man had more medical conditions than most hospital wings, most of which caused by CKD. And here's the brutal truth. If even one of those problems goes untreated, so does CKD. You can't cherry pick. You either treat the whole person or you fail. There is no improving CKD numbers without diagnosing and treating every single one of these diseases, alright? And doctors know this very well. This is why they tell you that there is nothing they can do. And yet, this man improved. He found a doctor who actually cared, a doctor who treated every issue he had, not just one or two. And the result, by the time the study ended, he was 85 years old and his kidney function was almost back to normal. I say that again in case it's not clear. This man was suffering from stage 3 CKD in his late 70s, but his kidney function improved over the course of several years. So yeah, no dialysis in sight for him. Instead, his doctor gave him detoxifiers, vitamins, dietary recommendations, medicine. So here's my point. There is no improving CKD if you don't treat its complications. Doctors can't just hand out the blood pressure pills, cross their fingers, and hope the kidneys behave. If you want your patients to beat the odds, you need a full, personalized battle plan. Now, we will see everything you need to know about how the treatment this patient is receiving works in a moment. But first, if today's story makes you wonder, why isn't my doctor treating my CKD like this? Well, you're not alone, because real improvement only happens when you receive the complete treatment you deserve. That's why I offer private one-on-one consultations, no cookie cutter plans, no vague advice. I can build your treatment plan based on your labs, your symptoms, and your goals. This is why my approach works. If you're serious about taking control of your kidney health, and if you're tired of being told there is nothing you can do, send me an email at catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com or just click the link in the description. I can help you. Okay guys, let's go back to our case report. One of the first complications this man is being treated for is anemia. Now, 60% to 70% of CKD patients have anemia. And honestly, if you're feeling tired right now, it might be because of it. Anemia makes you feel tired because it's a condition where you don't have enough blood in your blood. Yeah, you heard me right. Not enough blood in your blood. And while some US doctors might not agree with me on this, not having enough blood in your blood is actually a pretty serious illness. It can lead to several problems down the line, stuff such as feeling incredibly tired and also heart problems, dialysis, even death. You might be thinking, well, of course, we should be treating a disease that can literally cause death. However, many doctors still prefer a wait-and-see approach when it comes to anemia in CKD patients. In fact, some doctors even went on record to say that since CKD is causing anemia, there is no need to even check iron levels in CKD patients. And yeah, the good old wait-and-see approach. And here's the sad part about that. Even if it's true that most CKD patients actually suffer from anemia due to CKD, this doesn't exclude the possibility of also having a deficiency. Both things can happen at the same time, alright? And both causes for anemia need treatment. Actually, if you ask anyone who spends hours every day examining lab reports for CKD patients, like me for example, they will tell you without a hint of doubt that a lot of CKD patients also have low iron levels. So if you are a doctor watching me right now and you are thinking maybe one or two of your patients might need some iron, after all, here's a pro tip. Anemia of CKD is usually normocytic and normochromic. If the MCV is low, microcytic, check for a B9 or B12 deficiency. If it's high, macrocytic, don't just blame CKD. Test iron levels. The wait-and-see approach doesn't help here, and your patient may be in dire need of iron or vitamins. Now, very important, what should you do if you are a patient and you suspect you are not being treated for anemia? Well, of course, take a look at my table on screen right now. Treatment for anemia is based on your lab reports, of course, and on your symptoms and stage of CKD. Make sure you are being tested for hemoglobin, iron, ferritin based on the schedule you see on screen. Make sure you are receiving appropriate treatment. Ask questions, talk to your doctor if you are not sure. Because, and keep this in mind, anemia is treatable, and getting treatment for it as soon as possible can make a huge difference with CKD. Alright, let's get back to our 78-year-old kidney warrior. We already saw that fixing anemia was step 1 towards saving his kidneys. But it wasn't the only battle he had to fight, because when you are at stage 3B CKD, your kidneys aren't just snoozing. They're throwing a full-on party where every complication on earth is invited. And next on the guest list, metabolic acidosis. You know, because nothing says good time like acid slowly melting your insides. Luckily, this patient was receiving something that can genuinely save kidneys. Good old sodium bicarbonate. So let's talk about the only kitchen cleaner that can actually help kidney health. Sodium bicarbonate works by treating metabolic acidosis, which, if you're lucky enough not to know, is when your blood becomes acid soup, which is defined as too much acid in blood. If that doesn't sound nasty enough, also consider that this is one of those buy one get three type deals. In fact, metabolic acidosis doesn't just cause kidney damage, it will also cause your serum potassium levels to be too high. It may damage your bones and it can cause loss of muscle mass. Fun fact, some patients are still told to eat more meat to keep their muscles strong. Spoiler alert, all that meat just creates more acid, which then destroys the muscles they were trying to save in the first place. So yeah, science tells us that if you have CKD, eating more meat to keep your muscle is like trying to put out a house fire by tossing on more gasoline. But hey, it's keto approved gasoline, so it's fine, alright? Now, some good news. You can actually improve your muscle mass by correcting metabolic acidosis, says recent meta-analysis. So yeah, next time your cousin Bob, who gets all his health info from gym memes, tells you to eat some meat, show him this study and watch him pretending to understand what it says. Anyway, for those who don't care about losing a little muscle, just remember, muscle mass is directly linked to not dying early. So maybe it's time to care. Just a thought. So yeah, now you know why I tell you so insistently to give up the steak and go lift some weights at the gym instead. So question, how to treat metabolic acidosis effectively? Well, by following the instruction on my slide, of course. So, the first step here is making sure you are being tested. Because of course, just taking sodium bicarbonate like you are a clogged sink won't really help. Instead, do this. This you see here is the value you need to be tested for. Make sure it's never below this number, alright? Now, this test should be performed regularly, even in patients in stage 3 of CKD. But what to do if this number is too low? Well, this is where you need sodium bicarbonate. And question, how would you take it? Well, of course, by following the instructions on my table here. Yeah, baby, another table you can print and put on your fridge. Now, here you can see all the numbers, all the doses, and everything you need to know about sodium bicarbonate. And there is a reason why we do these accurate calculations before giving a patient sodium bicarbonate. While this supplement is very safe, it still contains sodium, which is bad for your blood pressure if in too high dose, and it's still cold. And it still can cause some discomfort. So consult your doctor and make sure they are addressing this issue adequately. And don't forget, fixing acidosis isn't just about popping sodium bicarbonate pills. Cutting protein and replacing it with fruit and vegetables also works wonders with literally zero side effects. And hey, improving your diet might just help you grow back some muscle too. Not bad for something that doesn't even come with a pharmacy copay, right? Okay guys, we just covered 2 of the most significant complications of CKD, anemia and metabolic acidosis, but we're not done yet, because if our 78-year-old patient wanted to actually reverse CKD, there were a few more battles to win. Next up, vitamin D deficiency. And before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another lecture about taking my vitamins like a good little kid, hear me out. This one matters a lot. Let's talk about vitamin D deficiency. I want to focus on this issue in particular because it's still being underestimated today by many doctors. They all act like vitamin tests are boutique spa services. You want functional organs? That's part of the deluxe package, sir. But credit where is credit's due. Things are slowly improving. I'm finally starting to see more patients coming in with their vitamin D levels actually checked, not just left to guess based on how many bones they've broken tripping over a Roomba. And honestly, without proper vitamin D, your bones might snap faster than your willpower at a donut shop. Jokes aside, vitamin D deficiency is so common in CKD patients, you should probably just get tested for it right now. I mean, even if you're still spry enough to leap off the couch without groaning like you're a 90-year-old pirate. And vitamin D isn't just about bones either. It affects your immune system, your heart, and yes, your kidney health too. So if you haven't gotten your levels tested recently, add it to the to-do list. Now, as important as vitamin D is, there was an even sneakier problem our patient had to deal with. Let's talk about homocystinemia. Don't worry if it sounds like a Harry Potter spell, because it's going to be much less fun. Anyway, what is homocystinemia and why should you care about it? Homocysteine is a normal amino acid, nothing special. Everyone has it and it's fine until it builds up. And when it does, congratulations, you've just won higher risk of coronary artery disease, heart attacks, blood clots, and of course, kidney damage. And if you think this doesn't concern you, well, think again. As we can see in this recent study, this problem is extremely common in CKD patients. 8 out of 10 patients were observed having too high homocysteine levels. 8 out of 10! That's a lot. But why is that happening, you ask? Because your kidneys are supposed to help remove it. And if they're on strike, guess what you get? Spoiler, it's not a free trip to Disneyland. Now you may ask, okay, Catherine, how do we fix this homocysteine mess? And the answer is with a triple shot of bounty hunter vitamins. Folic acid, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, they literally obliterate homocysteine from orbit. But I'm already getting those vitamins from my Renavite. You might be thinking, well, bless your little vitamins, they're trying their best. But they're about as effective here as using a squirt gun to put out a wildfire. Yeah, your understand daily multivitamin isn't nearly enough to quell the homocysteine fire. No, you need therapeutic doses. Take a look at my table. Go ahead, take a screenshot, frame it, sleep next to it. You'll see the massive gap between regular vitamin doses and the doses actually needed to fix high homocysteine levels. Not the same thing, And while taking these doses for these 3 vitamins is safe, I still don't recommend doing this without your doctor's supervision. Why? Because not everyone responds the same to this vitamin therapy, and some patients will require other interventions. In fact, as you can see from my second part of my table, there are other interventions that can help with homocystinemia. Betaine TMG, which is a supplement usually sold for liver support, can play a big role in getting rid of this amino acid, NAC as well. But you are probably taking it already for your kidneys, right? And something else you should be doing already is following a low-protein plant-based diet. What has the diet to do with homocysteine, you ask? Well, you see, homocysteine is a byproduct of an amino acid called methionine. So, cutting down your protein intake automatically cuts down the building blocks for this toxic sludge. Among other 700 toxins you will cut down by cutting protein intake. So if you want to know more about how to follow a low-protein diet, my video up here is for you. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.